Time now for Ask the Expert, and we have Colleen, Lyle Real Estate here today. And here's how you can get a hold of Colleen right now to ask her a question, whatever that question may be, 789-6559, extension 2803, or send us an email, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. You can also message us on Facebook. Well, when it comes to the housing market in Canada, the capital is at the top of its class. Despite real estate skyrocketing in some cities and slumping in other parts of the country, the resale market in Ottawa is not only strong, but consistent and steady. So what does this mean if you're looking to buy or sell your home? Real estate expert Colleen Lyle joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm always fascinated by this, where we compare in the country to other cities, and we're going to have a good look at it now.
Absolutely.
So Ottawa is doing pretty well. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a blip here. Maybe one of our technical guys can give us an assist on this. Okay, so we are in Ottawa at 361,572.
Yeah.
That is the average.
That's the average, and actually that seems to be climbing very quickly. So, you know, these stats, and then we turn around the next week, and it's gone up another 10K. So
It's happening that fast?
It is happening that fast right now.
Have we ever been this high?
We haven't, actually, and depending on, and this is the average because, you know, there are certain areas in Ottawa, and we'll talk about that with our viewers this morning, in the fact that the average in certain areas is actually about 40K higher than that. So
wow.
It depends what area you're in.
Where you live, yes, yeah. And we'll get to that coming up. But by comparison, let's have a look at some of the other cities. So Vancouver, wowzers.
That is a high number for Ottawa standards, and yet Vancouver right now is seeing a slump. They've hit their top, and they've actually seen up to a 15% decrease already this year.
Wow.
So it is significant. So even though that number looks healthy, they're not very happy about it.
And Vancouver, the highest in the country for the average?
Currently right now.
As it is right now.
As it is right now.
Okay. Next up, Calgary. A pretty high average in Calgary. Calgary's always seemed to be a very healthy market as well.
And Calgary is starting to come back, but after the oil crash back a couple of years ago, that number used to be higher, so they're just in a recoup mode as well. So we'll probably see Calgary hopefully come back to where it usually is, because right now at Calgary, that number is actually one of the lower ones that they've seen in a little while.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are doing well in this country.
We are.
We are.
We are.
The GTA, which for everybody, that encompasses Toronto and other areas, and like the other GTA.
Exactly.
So probably your Pickering and
well, and even
Oshawa,
Newmarket,
Ajax.
right? And so right now they're still seeing multiple offers, but more within the exterior, right?
Okay.
You know, you're looking at the Newmarket kind of market, and yet this again, they are in a slump right now.
Wow.
They are seeing up to a 22% drop this year, and sellers are told pretty much not to sell in most of the areas in Toronto. They are
Stay put.
Stay put.
Because they'll be able to make more in about a year from now.
And what we are seeing, especially on my team, and I'm sure any other realtor who is watching this, and the fact that I myself am dealing with a large handful of Toronto clients who have said, we're done, we've sold out, and we're now moving to Ottawa.
Because this is just not affordable in the GTA anymore,
No.
where we are in a better position here.
Absolutely.
You get a little more bang for your buck in Ottawa.
You kind of do.
All right, Montreal at $331,000, the average cost of a home there.
And again, you have to remember these are averages,
Yes.
because you can get a lovely home in the town of Mount Royal, but you're not going to get that at town of Mount Royal, right? So Montreal is a very stable market still right now. They've hit a little bit of a downturn, but again, compared to our West Coast friends, even Toronto, Montreal is still seeing a very stable market. They were a little bit higher last year, but they're not in the downturn that you saw in Vancouver or Toronto.
How long are we going to stay where we are right now? Let's go back to Ottawa, and that is $361,000. Are we going to stay in that place for a long time?
Well, what we're seeing in the Ottawa market right now are still a very strong market. The Ottawa market right now is consistently strong. My team has written, this weekend we've written over a dozen offers, and all of them all of them were in multiple offers. So the fact is right now, it is still very much a seller's market, very strong, very aggressive. And so we're seeing homes go for 50 to 100,000 over asking.
Are we in a position in Ottawa where people are leaving Ottawa because it's not affordable anymore, like what we're seeing in Toronto, people wanting to come here, or is it still affordable for what people are making and earning here?
It is very affordable. We are very much a town that is up and coming. We are one of the favorite cities in Canada. Sometimes people say that we're the forgotten city, but I think that people are realizing that Ottawa has a lot to offer, and the fact that there are still very affordable pockets within the city of Ottawa.
Yeah.
It's not a market for everybody. But it is still a great market to get into or sell in especially.
Okay, if you have any questions for Colleen Lyle, give us a call right now, 789-6559 extension 2803. Send us an email, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, or message us on Facebook. Coming up after the break, we're going to be chatting with Colleen about the neighborhoods in our area. So we're going to take a closer look at the average cost. If you're in Barrhaven, if you're in Canada West, if you're in Orleans, we're going to have a look at exactly what the average cost of a house is in all of our neighborhoods. That is next on our Ask the Expert. Our Ask the Expert segment now, and Colleen Lyle is here from Colleen Lyle Real Estate. There, so you can get a hold of us for any questions, 789-6559, extension 2803, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca, or send us a message on Facebook as well. And so before the break, Colleen, we were talking about where we compare in Ottawa on a whole against the country, what the average price of a home is here. Let's compare neighborhood to neighborhood here in Ottawa, because I think that's pretty fascinating.
Absolutely.
If you're looking to leave Canada and maybe move to Barrhaven, what's more expensive?
Yeah.
But first I want to ask you, what are your three locations that are the most hot right now?
Well, definitely it's west is best, as they say, and not to offend anyone in the East End, but the fact is that the big pull right now is due to the D&D transfer.
Okay.
And so the D&D transfer onto Moody has been very much a pull to the West End. So we're seeing all of the Nepean districts, including the Westboro and McKellar Park, etc., be a very hot market. We're also seeing Barrhaven. We're seeing a real pull to the south end, so the Riverside South, Finley Creek, Barrhaven, those areas are diverse not only in their ethnical diversity but also within the shopping and stuff like that. So we're seeing a real pull to the south end. And then we're going to go far west. We are going Canada. We are going Stittsville. We are going to go even to Carleton Place and Arnprior. Because
a big boom out there.
A huge boom. You know, for anyone who has that 2020 insight, the pull towards the far west is actually, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're getting a 4-bedroom home for up to $200,000 less than what you're getting it into the city. And so people are really seeing big lots, big value in the outskirts of Ottawa.
Let's take a look at the city as a whole and talk about the average price. And so we're going to start in Canada. The average price in Canada, and this is Canada West and a little bit further west than Canada. Yeah. The average price there, $369,000.
Well, and Canada covers a huge area, right? You've got the far south end of the Bridlewood and even close to the Hope Side Road community there.
Yeah.
But then you also have, Canada also incorporates $1 million homes that are on 3-4 acres.
Yeah.
So it is a huge community. But again, the D&D pull there, in addition to land, is a big value in that area.
Things are going well in Barrhaven, $348,000 the average price.
Well, you know, not to plug a store, but we are seeing a huge pull in this, not only because of the fact that there are a lot of new builders out there, but the new Costco has a lot to do with, yeah, people. I've got buyers right now going, got to be around the Costco. So
do people really go and buy? I mean, is that something you should consider first, as to, do you go home shopping first or neighborhood shopping first? What do you look for?
We talked about this on several shows and with the viewers out there. The fact is that, what kind of life do you want? Because in fact, that if you can't afford Westboro, which we'll get to, the fact is that as buyers, you may seriously say, you know what, I just want to get out of my car and walk to all the shopping, and that's what Barrhaven affords.
Wow, $571,000 in Westboro? still doing very well there?
It's still doing very well, and Westboro covers, a large component of that in the fact that it is very hip. It's the coffee shops and the patios out there. It's a great living space, especially for those who want to bike to work.
And be very close. $627,000 in the Glebe. Wow. The Glebe has always been known for being the hottest area.
Exactly. And the Glebe amalgamated even with Westboro. The fact is that the Glebe themselves have always been a hot market, and always one of those that is just about the neighborhood into itself.
And things doing well in Orleans, $355,000.
Orleans is still doing really well. It was hit by the fact that they are moving their D&D out to the West End, and we can't forget that. Yet, for the French community, it is predominantly a French community,
right.
And the fact that they want to stay within that community, and the fact is that there's a really good growth opportunity there. So. Absolutely.
It's good to see our entire city is still doing very, very well, and it's always nice to see the breakdown of exactly what the average is for what neighborhood. Okay, Colleen, we're going to continue with you and chat with you a little bit more after the break. We want to take you outside right now and show you what's happening and by email about D&D headquarters now on Carling Avenue in the West End, and they're wanting to know what that's doing for housing prices in Bell's Corners.
Right. Well, what we're finding is that D&D has done a huge surge for the fact that from Bell's Corners to the West End, in the fact that there is that all of a sudden that large demand, and they haven't put everybody into that compound, that complex, but the fact is that as well we're seeing more and more people not only coming from the East End, but also we have the Gagetown, the Edmonton, and all the different sections, Petawawa, who are moving and therefore want a short commute. So definitely it will affect positively the areas surrounding Bell's Corners.
One of the things, though, that it's important to stress, you were telling me, is that even though this is a seller's market and homes are selling fast and they're doing well, you still have to prepare it to sell it if you really want to get that top dollar.
Absolutely, because I hear time and time again, we sell hundreds of homes, and the fact is that it's frustrating for people when they say, well, I don't have to stage my home, I don't have to fix my home, and I can still ask top dollar. Buyers are still very, very savvy. They want our listeners to know, and the fact that we need people to fix their homes. We need people to do what they need to do, because then they will get top dollar and not before. You can't cut corners.
And we've talked about this,
yes.
And so you're a great person to call if you have questions. Call Colleen and her team, because you have some great advice on how to do that without breaking the bank. You can fix up a room, you can redo it a little bit. It doesn't have to be a full kitchen reno, but little things you can do to prep your home that can translate into thousands of dollars when it comes time to putting it up on the market and selling it.
I've seen people do $5,000 kitchens, and we can add $25,000 onto the asking price.
Wow.
So there are things that we can do that myself, my team, and my stager does in order to push the limits, but at the same time, just because it's a seller's market doesn't mean sellers can be a little lazy in this market.
Can't rest on your laurels.
No, you
can't. Colleen, Lyle, thank you so much.
Thank
Colleen,
you.
Lyle, Real Estate. Give her a call if you have any questions and you're looking to sell or buy a home. They've got all the answers for you, and that's how you can get a hold of her. They're on Carling Avenue at 2148. 829-1818 is the number, or check her out on ColleenLyle.com.